Wanted to explain to you the midterm project. So if you see in week 1, I'm just giving you an early heads up for the midterm project. And this is going to be a new video here. So hopefully you're watching this right now. Obviously you are. Let me just kind of show you the rubric. So you're going to find the rubric in week 8 for this. So if I'm just going to go to modules here. You can find it in several different places, but I'll just do it this way. So I'm going to go to week 8. Okay, and here's the midterm project. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to create a PowerPoint presentation or a Google slide. Either way, it doesn't really matter to me. That is going to be tracing the development of Western music from the Middle Ages to the Baroque period. This is the same exact assignment that you're going to do for your final, except it's going to be different time periods, but it's the same exact instructions, just different time periods. I'm asked that you please do not use Prezi for your project. I've had some people ask me if they can use Canva, which is fine. That seems to work out pretty good. If you don't know how to create a PowerPoint presentation, there's a little video here to help you. So a couple things. It's not collaborative. This must be done individually. I want you to find 3 pieces of some kind of major historical event outside of music for each time period. Also, I want you to find 3 major works of art or literature, or it could be also architectural outside of music for each time period. 2 pieces of music for each time period with the links or video included with it specifically described, 2 composers, and also 2 types of music that was popular in that particular time period. So I will accept it late. You will lose points off for each day, but after 7 days, I will not accept it. So here is the rubric right here. So I want you to think of this as a presentation that, like, if you were teaching the development of Western music to somebody, this would be like your teaching tool. So it needs to be instructive. It needs to be creative. It needs to be something that would be actually interesting. My expectation is that you do have images, obviously, throughout the whole presentation and text that explains the images. Now, like I said, the historical and cultural events, 3 for each time period, and I just want them briefly described for each time period. So let's say like it's the Middle Ages, and you for one of your big events for that, you talk about the plague. Just briefly describe what the plague is. What I don't want to see is just a list of 3 events, but no description, nothing. I want it to be just briefly described. And then also major works of art and or literature. It can also include architecture. And just briefly describe it. So if you choose a painting from a particular time period, have an image of the painting, and then just a brief description of the painting and who painted it. Musical examples. Okay, for this, I want you to have a video in the presentation, but also include the link, because sometimes, I don't know why, but when I receive the PowerPoint presentation, sometimes the video won't play. So make sure that you include the link as well. It could just be in small underneath the video or something. Make sure that you specifically describe the piece that you've included and not just a general description of the time period. So 2 examples per time period. And then also another section is going to be 2 composers. Make sure that you include the specific information that I asked you to. What some people do is whatever their musical example is, whoever the composer was for that musical example, that's who they'll choose for one of their composers. And that just kind of seems to make sense. To me, that makes it flow. Another thing, and this is the one section that people seem to either forget or just kind of mess up on, is important style features for the time period. I'm looking for 2 types per time period. Like, for example, if you were in the Renaissance, you might talk about word painting. You might talk about madrigals. If you're in the Middle Ages, you'll probably talk about Gregorian chant, and so on. So this is just describing a style feature of that particular time period. Now, let me just kind of show you what I am looking for. This is actually a final project, but it's set up exactly the same for the midterm. So what I'm looking for are your historical events. Let me just kind of put it over this way a little bit. Historical events for the time period, briefly described. It's nice to have an image just to kind of make it a little more interesting. And then works of art. It could be literature, it could be art, it could be architecture. And again, just briefly described. An example, like see how we have the video, but we have the link as well. Just a little bit of an explanation of what the example is. So we have 2 per period, and then the composers themselves. And this person, it looks, no, they didn't do the same thing. So anyway, they chose Mozart and Beethoven, which is fine. And then style features. So this person chose opera and sonata for the classical period. And then just kind of clicking through, just kind of show you this is actually a final project, but the midterm is set up exactly the same way, just different time periods. So this is what I'm looking for. And then at the end of this, at the end of your project, I want a works cited slide with the slide number and then the links where you got whatever information you got. So that's what I'm looking for your midterm and your final. The rubrics are exactly the same for the midterm and the final. The only thing that's different is the time periods. So that is your final and your midterm project instructions. So if you have any questions, you can definitely email me and let me know. But hopefully that is kind of gives you an idea of what I'm looking for.